Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you have been well, and welcome back and welcome if you're new to my booktube channel Pretty Little Bibliophile. I'm Nika and I make book related videos, and as you can see from the title, today's video is going to be a reading vlog of me picking up this amazing duology, The Good Luck Girls, and I've got very high hopes for it. So I want to begin by thanking the kind people at Tortine for sending me these two books. I tried picking them up earlier, but because of one situation or the other, I could not commit to them. But today is the 1st of October, and I hope to dedicate the first week of October to reading these two amazing books. Before we begin, the first book is The Good Luck Girls, and book 2 is The Sisters of Reckoning. So firstly, I'll be sharing the synopsis of this book. A dark current of excitement coursed through Esther. This would be dangerous, yes, but for once it was danger she had chosen. The country of Arquetta calls them good luck girls. They know their luck is anything but. Sold to a welcome house and branded with cursed markings, they're trapped until the day a man is killed and 5 girls escape. Now pursued by powerful forces, both human and inhuman, they begin a harrowing journey to find freedom, justice, and revenge. So this book has been blurbed by amazing authors such as Mark Oshiro, who is the author of Anger is a Gift, then Rin Shupeko, author of The Bone Witch, as well as Lauren Shippen, author of The Infinite Noise. I've got very high hopes for picking this up, and once again I want to thank Tortine, the amazing people at Tortine, for sending me this book. I'll be picking this up and then I'll be reading this one. Obviously, since I haven't read this one, I don't want to read the synopsis of this either to spoil myself. So I'll begin by picking up this book, and yeah, I'll start reading. Today is the 1st of October. I think I've already mentioned that, but I'll read this and I'll give you an update about my reading, what I felt about it the first after I'm done with. Let me see how many pages there are. There are 346 pages, so I think I'm going to give you an update. The first update will be after I'm done with 50 pages or whatever chapter I finish by then. So I think 58. Wow, I picked it up at one go. So I'll give you the update after I read 58 pages. That is after I read 4 chapters. So that's that, and I'll see you again very soon. Hey guys, so I am done reading the first 130 pages of this book, as you can see, and so I thought this is a good time as I need to give you an update about what I think about it and so on. So firstly, we have we have met and been acquainted with the main characters of this book, which are I'm so bad at remembering names, but basically it's Clementine, who has just turned 16 in the beginning of this book, so it's her lucky night, basically the night when good luck girls lose their virginity to the highest bidder. And then we have also met her sister Esther, who is 1 year older than her. We've also met their younger friends who are just about to turn 16, Tansy and Mello, and we've also met the apprentice as well as the heir apparent of the madame of the whole of the welcome house, which is basically a brothel, whose name is and this heir's, her name is Violet. So we have met all of these main 5 characters, and now the man has died. I mean, that is very apparent and obvious in the synopsis itself. When the man dies, it gives these 5 girls an opportunity to escape. So the man has died and these girls have escaped, and they are on the run to basically gain freedom. How and why I won't tell you, because obviously spoilers, but so far that's the scene. I would say that it is pretty fast paced, so I am enjoying it, and that is why I made it through almost halfway in a single sitting. So this is definitely a very fast-paced read. And another thing that I found really interesting is that in these types of fantasy, sort of like dystopian, these sorts of books, we often get to see people struggling against the social system, and it's mostly girls. I mean, the books I've picked up so far are girls fighting against this unfair social system and so on. And in most of these books, I found that they address various social issues and all of that, but the sexual angle is never brought into the plot line, or if they did, I haven't read any of those sorts of books. But in this book itself, from the very beginning, the sexual angle and the way the girls are sexually oppressed as well is something that forms the core of this novel, because these girls are called the good luck girls because they are from the welcome house, good luck welcome house, which is basically a brothel. So the girls work as maids, they do the household stuff, household chores and all of that until they turn 16. When they become 16 on their birthday, there is this auction, and the highest bidder who bids on them gets to take her virginity, and then consequently she becomes a prostitute. So this angle has never been really explored much in YA books, I would say. So I think this is really important. Why? I think because in a society which continues to be inherently patriarchal, and this is sort of a fantasy world, right, where society oppresses people, it's expected, I mean, it's sad, but it's obviously expected that women, when they are subjugated, are sexually oppressed as well. And that is a truth that whether it's fantasy or the real life stands strong, so to not include that or not talk about it, it feels like you're disregarding the truth of the reality that most women go through when situations such as these happen, when the world is like this. For example, the situation with Taliban in Afghanistan, how girls are married off and all of that. So I think it's very important that the author has addressed this in the novel. So yeah, really enjoying this book overall, the girls' struggle as well as their run and everything. As for the characters, I would say I thought that this would follow the point of view of Clementine, because in the very first chapter, which is sort of like a prologue, it's named the prologue, we get to see the story from Clementine's eyes, right? So I thought that we would get to see her perspective throughout, but from chapter 1 itself, we get to see rather Esther's, the older sister's point of view from the very beginning. So as such, we are getting to see Esther's point of view throughout. So I would say that Esther's character has become more formed compared to the other. I think Esther's character as well as Violet's characters are the most striking throughout, so that is really interesting to see. I'm also excited to see read the rest of the book, especially because another character has been introduced. So the whole dynamic that the inclusion of this character will bring to this group of 5 girls is one I'm excited to see how it unfolds. So yeah, that's my update for now, and I'll give you another update once I'm done reading maybe 100 more pages. So like after I'm at 260 pages, maybe, I don't know, let's see, after I'm done making a considerable dent in this book, I'll definitely give you an update. Until then, take care. Hey guys, so it's a few hours later, it's 11:30, and I've made a bit of progress with the book. I've read 100 more pages, and I thought I would give you an update. I have a couple of points that I want to talk about, which I found relevant in terms of the actual scenario today. So first is women's reproductive health and their access and their rights over it, or lack thereof, and this book actually does address a bit of it. So as good luck girls, their ability to procreate is taken away from them, so they don't have any say in it. Once they, like, I think a year before they start working as actual prostitutes, they undergo medical surgery sort of thing, which disallows them from ever carrying a child, which I think in terms of today's scenario, especially with the laws about anti-abortion laws and all of that, it's very, very relevant. So this book does address it. So even though it's steeped so much in fantasy, a lot of it is inspired from real life, which I find really fascinating and really just, I would say, to give that acknowledgement to the real world within this fantasy world as well. So that's quite great. And the second thing is that this is quite an atmospheric novel. I am really enjoying it actually. Even though I'm giving you this update after I'm done reading 100 pages, I'm definitely going to continue to read more tonight, because it's just very interesting. And one more thing is that it is very fast paced, so you're not bored at all throughout. You engage with the characters and the journey that they are on continuously. And now that I've made a bit more progress, like I've read 100 more pages, I can definitely say that I am getting to know the characters more, even apart from Esther. Mostly I'm getting to know Z, who seems to have his own secrets, Violet as well. We're getting to know a lot about Violet's backstory, as well as Mallow and Tansy. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to finishing this book. It's really good. It's really cool and good, I was about to say. It's both. And then I am also excited to pick up the next book, which I'll keep nearby. So yeah, and another thing that I found really interesting was how this book also addresses the emotional trauma that these characters have faced, these girls especially, and then the other characters who will appear in the middle of the story, new characters, their trauma as well. I think it was addressed really well. And there is a line in page 150, let me find it for you, where Violet says, "Well, at least you let yourself feel your anger," Violet said. "I can't seem to feel anything anymore." It was easier at the Welcome House. Being head girl, there was always something to keep me busy. I was good at my job. I'm not good at this. I'm not used to having all this time to think, all this emptiness and quiet. I'm useless out here. I hate it. So I think it does, I mean, this is just an example, but overall, with the conversations that these characters have, we get to see that they have all experienced so much of emotional trauma, and it has affected them in so many different ways. And the fact that they are, addressing it all as well, it makes it all the more real for me as the reader, and for you as the reader as well, when you pick it up. And another thing that was really striking to me was how, even when the oppressor, the colonizer, does something for you, they expect you to be grateful to them, even though they are still colonizing you, they're still oppressing you. So there's this one line: "Women were supposed to be grateful if they got taken away to live in a welcome house, a brothel. Men were supposed to be grateful if they escaped to a hole in the ground." So it's like you have to be grateful that you are getting an opportunity to live, even though you're living in such horrible conditions. It's like you have to be grateful to the oppressors, the people who are controlling them all here, the evil people in power. You have to be grateful to them that they are letting you live, as though it's not already your birthright. So I think that was an interesting point as well. So yeah, those are the few bits of insights I wanted to share, and I'll definitely let you know more about it. Obviously, I have made quite a huge dent on this today, and I'm definitely going to continue reading this bit. Let's see how much I can cover tonight. Otherwise, obviously, I'm going to be reading the rest of it tomorrow morning or afternoon, because I've got an appointment tomorrow morning, so I might be busy. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll see you again. Take care. Hi guys, so it's 12:40 the same night, and I just finished reading this, and wow, this was such an amazing adventure story, and the ending was kind of unexpected, and while it didn't end on a cliffhanger, it did end on a note of hope. So I'm really excited to pick up the sequel next. How much would I rate it? I think I'm going to rate it a 4 out of 5 star easily. Characters were amazing. I really connected to them, definitely, mostly Esther, and I'm rooting for all of them and their success in a way. and the world building was just amazing. It's really amazing. Well, when we think of any Western books, Western novels, it's mostly very male-centric. It's a very phallocentric view, with saloons and dust and cowboy shoes and gunslingers and all of that. So this one was a really interesting take on the whole Western literature concept, Western as in West, and this alternate Old West fantasy was definitely one that I really enjoyed. 4 out of 5 star easily, once again, and I would definitely recommend you to pick it up. And mostly because with fantasy, it is really easy to just lose interest in the middle, because it can become too intense or too rambly or too slow at some points. But this one was not like that at all. It was definitely very fast paced. So I think it was another reason why I just flew through it. I mean, you could say that I read it more or less in 24 hours, net worth 24 hours, less than that. So yeah, really enjoyed it. And since it's 12:40 p.m. AM, sorry, 12:40 a.m., I don't think I'll pick up this new book today, because like I said, I do have an appointment early tomorrow morning. I have to reach the place at 9:30. So yeah, I'll have to wake up early, so I'm not going to read anymore today. But this is definitely the book I'll pick up immediately when I start reading next, whenever that is, tomorrow afternoon or evening. But yes, I really enjoyed it, and I think the author has done a really, really amazing job at bringing this whole world to life. And once again, I really want to thank 13 Books for reaching out to me for this, because I mean, this was an amazing book, and this one is an ARC copy, so I'm really grateful once again to them for sending me this amazing book. So yeah, really excited. But I mean, it's just 12:40, it's 12:45 now, but I think I can read a chapter, right? I think I'll read a chapter. It's not that long, so the first chapter is just 9 pages long, and then the second chapter runs till page 17. So I think I might just try to read at least the first chapter, get a taste of it, and yeah, really excited for this. I'll update you on my reading soon when I have made a considerable dent in this one as well. But that's it for now. Have a great night to you all, or morning or afternoon, or have a great day whenever you're watching this. But yeah, I'll see you soon.
One eternity later.
Hey guys, so it's actually the day after. I couldn't do any sort of reading yesterday because, like I said, I had an appointment, and I returned home at like 4 in the evening, and then at night I had a dinner I had to attend. So I've only started reading this today, but I'm enjoying it so far. Before I delve into sharing whatever I want to share about this book, I have to say that this might contain some spoiler alerts if you have not read book 1, so be warned. If you want to avoid spoilers for the sequel as well as for what happens towards the end of this book, you might want to avoid this part of the video. So basically at the end of The Good Luck Girls, we get to see the whole group essentially arrive at the arms of safety, right? That's how most stories end, and we don't get to see any we don't get to see what happens to the people after they are saved. The story ends there. But what I really like is that the Sisters of Reckoning picks up after that, about a year after that, I think. So it's really, really interesting, and it gives us a fresh perspective on what happens after, and this time we are getting to see more, I would say more of an exploration of the found family trope, because in book 1 we obviously had the group with all the 5 girls and Z, and now we have the whole sisterhood with the lady ghosts tribe. I won't even say tribe because it's not a tribe, but the whole Lady Ghosts group. They are a family, and so it's interesting to see how they work together, the logistics of their operations and all of that. I'm only actually just a few pages in, as you can see, so I cannot say more than that, but I'm really enjoying it. Once again, I think it is really, really atmospheric, as was book 1, because this really gives you, the Western vibe, especially with the ladies at the helm, because in Western generally it's always men who are the gunslingers and wearing cowboy boots and all of that, but it's really interesting to see the girls at the helm now. And secondly, we get to see these girls who have all lived through certain traumatic events of their lives, and to see them overcome all of it, it's really nice to see them come into their own beings as I would say independent women who know what they want is amazing. And also the process of healing is explored via all of these different characters, different ways they help each other and all of that, so that is really interesting as well. And that is it for now. I will give you another update after I'm done reading and I make more of a dent, maybe the first 100 pages. I've just finished reading 31 pages, so I'll continue reading it, and maybe after 70 more pages I'll give you another update. Hi guys, so as promised, I am done reading 100 pages. To be specific, I have just finished reading page number 102 and chapter 9, and I thought I would share 2 points with you. Firstly, when I was reading the books, both the first one and the second one, especially the second one, I was trying to find a word that really describes best Esther and the way she's so, it feels like she's so impulsive, even though mostly she's trying to do these things she's trying to do the right things, and I was trying to find a word, but I couldn't come up with it. But then I realized that she lacks impulse control, so that's sad. And it really made me understand things a lot better. And I started can you see it? Yeah, I've started marking the pages, and I've got one more thing to share with you all, which is actually a quote from this book, which really describes and puts into words why people like to dominate others, exploit others, why people like, in general, even in today's society, why people tend to step on others in order to get further in life. Okay, here it is. No one wants to be on the bottom. The rich kick down the poor, the men kick down the women, the fair bloods kick down the dust bloods, and so on. Nothing changes. So I thought, even though just like 2 lines long, it really shows and portrays a reality which is very, very obvious. So obviously, as was my reading with book 1, this one is going quite fast as well. We have all of the characters together now, so I'm really excited for the journey that they will go on now. And I have finished reading this much, 100 pages. This is roughly let's see how many pages this is. By the way, this is an ARC copy, as you can see here. So it has, let's see, 342 pages, so roughly 300 pages. I've just finished reading 102 pages, and obviously I'm going to continue reading it. I'll give you more updates soon after I'm done, maybe reading another 100 pages. So let's see, I'll talk to you all very soon, guys. So quick update, I just finished chapter 11 and 11, right? Yeah, I just finished chapter 11, and I thought I would tell you about something that has just happened. We are back in our favorite underground city with our favorite people, so it's really interesting. If you've read book 1, obviously you know who I'm talking about, the Scorpions. And I just realized when I was thinking about this that we have been introduced to 2 secret underground cities, underground societies that are trying to overthrow the fair bloods and their unfair rules for the dust blood. So it's quite interesting, and I just realized that, so I thought I would share it with you all. And now the real adventure begins for all of these people who who have now decided to go on this journey. And also there has been a revelation. We have found a person we did not think we would find after the end of the first book. So Z is shocked that he has found someone. If you remember, you remember, but I don't want to give complete spoilers, obviously. But yeah, really excited to see how it goes. Obviously, I mean, I'm sure you guys realize that I am loving this series because of the obvious, rate at which I'm reading these books. I haven't taken any breaks. I don't want to, because the story is so good, the adventure is so compelling, and the found family trope is used here, but it is used really well. There are nuances to the relationships. For instance, some of the scorpions don't like the good luck girls, and we know of the ones who consider them family. So the nuances of relationship, reading between the lines, all of it is quite interesting, and really loving it. So obviously I'm gonna go back to reading. I'll see you soon after some time. Let's see. Hey guys, so I thought I would give you another update. I have just finished reading chapter 25, that is page 275, and I've got two more things that I really want to talk to you about. Alright, the first one is about abuse, and I think we generally, when it comes to abuse, whatever form it is, emotional, sexual, physical, we generally tend to think that it's just women who go through it, and to be honest, it is mostly women. But because of this, because of the statistics, that it's mostly women that it happens to, we forget that sometimes men also go through that, and so we never think about the trauma that the men may have suffered. And I think this is shown really well in this book, where we get to see other characters as well. So there is this one line, let's see, page 244, where Derek says, "My father did not protect me. He recognized my weakness and despised it, pushed me off on his brother to race. Then Uncle Jared saw how soft I was and took it as a challenge and a chance to pull and twist me into his own image. I don't know who I am, Esther, only what others have done to me." And this line, it just spoke to my heart, spoke to me. It's sad and tragic, and at the same time something so real that, profound in the way it has been said. Yeah. And the second thing that I want to talk about here is that there is a discussion between Raven and Esther, which I think really how do I say this, sheds light on intersectional feminism, and addressing it in a setting such as this, sort of like a dystopian western fantasy element, is really good. So I'm going to read a bit of it now, because I think it's very good. I have been at this a little longer than you, and I have seen it all. I've met women who were able to find much comfort in the arms of a good man. I've met women who found more comfort in continuing their sundown work, but this time under their own power. I've met women who could only stand to be close to other women after the welcome house, and women who couldn't stand to be close to anyone at all. And I've met women who were uneasy around me because of the kind of women I am, and I had empathy for them, as long as they had empathy for me too, as another woman and their sister, and one who's felt more conflicted about my body than they ever could. It's taken me years to learn to love myself, to not feel betrayed, my own flesh and bones. And I reckon it's going to take you a long while too. You just have to be patient with the process. So I think it really is great at addressing the differences in the position, the sexualities, the gender, the emotional beings of women of all kinds, and yeah, definitely. And there's also a budding romance, which the essence of which we could sense in even book one, but now we are slowly going to be able to explore that more. So I'm only left with this much. as you can see. So I'm obviously going to be reading a bit more, and then once I'm done, I'll obviously share some updates with you all. Take care. Oh my god, guys, I just finished reading The Sisters of Reckoning and I have goosebumps. I don't think it's visible, but oh my god, that ending gave me goosebumps. It was so good. And I'm going to play the devil's advocate here and say that some people might say that the ending was a bit convenient, but I think it is just, and it arrives at a full circle, and it ultimately lays bare all the injustice that Dustbloods have had to go through, and because of which they are doing this ultimately, and because of which the twist in the end appears in the way it does. But this was truly such an amazing book. Both of them really. This was a really great duology, and I really loved them. I have to say that the character arc of Esther, as well as the other characters, Esther, Violet, Mallow, Tansy, Z, Clementine, it has come to a full circle, and I really loved going on this journey with them, because we get to see them develop in so many ways. In the beginning we see Esther, who is this pretty much timid, I would say timid girl, for whom rebellion means not taking sweet thistle. But in the end of book 2, obviously rebellion is an entirely different thing. We see her find love, we see her find a family, and the trope of found family is very strong here, and it has been done really well. Wow, I'm really in awe of these two books, of this duology. It has been done so well. I really have to applaud the author, Charlotte Nicole Davis, and the way she has created this world, and especially because this world is so real and it is so wholesome. There's ups and downs, which is really reflective of real human life, and it is done really well in the context of this Western dystopian fantasy world as well. And I think, once again, really done well. How much am I going to rate this book? I think I'm going to, I rated book 1, The Good Luck Girls, 4 star, and I think I'm going to rate book 2 a 4.5 stars, because I think this one was really great, and it really ended this whole duology on a really wonderful note, and I think really does justice to the story, and especially the ending. I mean, wow, if I think about it, I get goosebumps. I'm just, wow. Okay, so I really enjoyed reading this duology. Obviously you guys have an idea of that, because I just rushed through it. I read these at pretty much at really fast rates, because I enjoyed them so much. I would definitely recommend them to you all, because I don't think these are books that are very expected. These were unexpected in the way that they were written, the story, the plot, the characters, the tropes, the world building, the political system, social system, everything. It is just such, sometimes in some fantasy, whatever, the author focuses on one aspect and loses sight of the other, but this book is not like that. It has sprinklings of everything. Every aspect of it has been developed, which really points to the amazing writing talent of the author. So that's that. I really loved both of these books, and I am definitely going to tell you to read them and enjoy them for yourself. Once again, thanks a lot to Tortine for sending me these amazing books, because I obviously had an amazing time reading them. So wow, I had a really good time. I hope you guys pick this up, and I'll see you again very soon, maybe in a book haul video, which will go up next after this vlog. Let's see. But yeah, that's all for today. That's all for this reading vlog. Thank you so much, and take care. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.